Welcome everybody. Nice to be with young people, and I'll do my best to pass whatever I know concerning team building and management to you the soonest possible. 1 hour is not enough, but we will do our best. I hope nice Easter vacation time. Unfortunately, we are not at the perfect conditions with the pandemic COVID-19, but let's see it as an opportunity, and it is a nice coincidence that for us we have this because thanks to the coronavirus, we have to re review and reset all our opinion and treatment to, to our people, as society in general, and in business in particular, especially in the SMEs, as you are, and because you are obliged to be in the same time the leader and the manager of the company, which is not easy. I fully share your position. So just a little bit to introduce myself. I graduated as an architect, and then I joined the cement company Lafarge, working as a manager, NA manager for more than 25 years in approximately 20 countries. So I'm fully aware about the difficulties you may face building a team with people from different areas or different attitudes. I'm a member of Kemel. Kemel is the Center of Volunteer Greek Managers. It's a non-profit organization, and we have a strong commitment between ourselves. We are around 50. I say around because as we are quite aged enough, not everybody is available every day. We are 50 people in Kemel, approximately 35 very operational, and the strong commitment is whatever we gain throughout our experience as far as knowledge and different point of operations, to give them back to the society, and especially the young generation, pro bono, for free. They are not getting money from any kind of source.
Mr. Vlachos,
And
excuse me.
you can
May I interrupt you, please?
thank you. Ne?
Could you
Sure.
please turn off your webcam to have a better quality in the sound?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, better.
Okay. So you can visit our website, and especially you can apply if you have an interesting idea as an entrepreneur, no matter you operate the business or not. And somebody from Kemel will say by you as a mentor, because what we are doing in Kemel is mentoring. We are not doing any consulting, not to be competitive with the professionals, as we are non-profit organization. So let's start by not people. What I have to underline for you to highlight is, in this era, every day, and this era very specifically, we have to think that our people is our human capital. Companies think that capital are the buildings, the money, the machinery, the equipment. Of course they are. But the main capital that any business can operate is the human capital. And this is, I think, the most basic we have to keep always in our mind. And so what we have to do as managers of those companies and those people, we have to inspire and to share with them vision and purpose. If our people have no vision, have no purpose, why to be effective? Why to work just for the salary? No, it's not anymore interesting. Uh, and besides, we have to inspire and share principles and values. In our era, principles and values were not so important. After the Second War, society was desperate for goods and services. Now society is full of goods and services. And you will see every day that products and services in the market are promoted by principles and values, corporate social responsibility, environmental behavior, social impact, and whatever. Also, we have to have something we forget, mutual commitment. To have our people, our team committed to something, we have to be committed as well. So the commitment has to be mutual. And if I have the perfect example for me is nobody else but the famous and for me unforgettable Stephen Hawking. This guy had a commitment, no matter the deficit, and the society was committed to him. He inspired the commitment, and he managed to change the science approach for the history of our universe. So it sounds a little bit difficult, but you're not alone. Kemal is here, internet is here, experts are here. And so you have quite organizational tools and techniques to use. What I will try to do today, I will briefly present the key, the most important organizational tools and techniques. And then you have all the availability through internet to find whatever is proper for you and appropriate for you in detail. Sorry. The, the 4R approach, the organizational technique, you have to delegate responsibilities. We forget to delegate responsibilities. We give just orders or indications. You have to allow people to be responsible. You have to provide them with the right resources, the equipment. If you ask me to be in the sales force and I have to travel a lot and I don't have a company car, I cannot perform my job. Third, you have to report continuously because exchanging of information drives to the right decisions. If I don't have information, I cannot decide properly. And deciding properly, finally, I have to review. Review, due to the pandemic, we will review all our business models so far. And most likely you are informed by the media how not only companies but sectors of the world economy are changing and adapting. So our small business, no matter the objective, has to be reviewed continuously. And we have to be flexible. Why? Because there is no job without roadblocks. And we have to define the roadblocks and to pass by the roadblocks. We forget the main roadblock. What is the main roadblock? The stereotypes. Thanks to coronavirus, we will review and we will bypass most of the roadblocks. Just remember the elephant. You see the foot of this young elephant with, unfortunately, a chain, and the chain is blocked on the ground. Why are they doing that? The trainers of the elephant? Do we see the elephants in the circus or in a lot of countries making a lot of jobs, transporting people, helping in transportation of goods? How those giants are not reactive negatively? Because the trainer, as long as they are young, puts always the chain, and they unchain the elephant only to go to his or her mother to be milked. So when they are adult, the trainer is doing the same. He's putting the chain on the foot, and the elephant understands immediately, unconsciously, that he has to behave the way he was trained. Bad example, but these are the stereotypes that drive our lives most of the time. And don't forget that for our people as well, because everybody, even myself, yourselves, we are subject to stereotypes. Yeah. Besides flexibility, we have to use, as we define the roadblocks, lateral thinking and to take corrective actions. Because when I was managing companies, most of our employees were coming at my office, Mr. Vlachos, we have a problem. I said, please eliminate the word problem from our vocabulary. We have subjects, we have issues, we have topics, because all our life is a problem. And if we say all day problem, 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 we will collapse. So we have an issue, we have an obstacle, we have a roadblock, and we have to use our mind as a lateral thinking to take the right measures and the right corrective actions. Do we have a simple example? Yes, there is a very simple example throughout the human history, the Trojan horse. The Greeks were trying for more than 9 years to occupy Troy without any success. And suddenly somebody, Ulysses, had the lateral thinking to use the Trojan horse. That easy. When they give us the solution, it sounds easy, but it's quite difficult to find the solution. But that's the way, think the lateral way. When we say team, it's not a bunch of people. We are speaking about the right team. Because what we need is not a couple of persons. We need persons, as we said, with vision and purpose, and to be committed on objectives and targets. And what are the criteria? Uh, I I don't know if you are familiar with the BMC business model canvas tool. I will spend some minutes to describe. But there in the business model canvas, we have the right approach, what for us as businessmen is the right thing. First of all, why to focus on the right thing? This is the worldwide research that took place a couple of years ago. More than 100 startup founders responded to participate to this research. And you will see the 20 reasons, main reasons that startup fails. Of course, the first reason is no market need, because all of us, we have a very serious mind that our idea is perfect, but then the society reacts that the idea is not perfect. They don't need our products or our services. But the second reason, as you see, is not the right team. Funding financing is around here. at the very bottom. So we have no excuse to say, we have not enough money, we have not been supported by funds. No, it's totally out of any question. The three main reasons. The third reason is run out of cash, but it's not funding. Is that I was not able to manage the money that I had properly. So as the second reason to fail is not the right team, let's see what is the right team about. This is the famous business model canvas, a genius idea of a Swiss guy by the name Alexander Osterwalder, whom I admire a lot. It's unbelievable that in just 9 blocks, he managed to describe all the structure of a business. At the left, you will see the block key activities. Below the block key resources, and to the left, key partnerships. This is all the secret. We have to design our business starting by our customers, our segments, to whom we are addressing our business, our products, our services. What is the value we are proposing to them? How we will contact them, through what channels? How we will hammer the customer relationships? But all this right area of the business model canvas has to do with the revenue. Who is going to pay for that, for my product and my service? The left-hand blocks is my cost, because I have to create a structure to deliver what I promise to the society. And if I consider it just as a cost, I'm totally lost. I will never get the money from the market unless I have the proper organization to deliver. And to design the proper organization, I have to start by my key activities. What are my key activities? Let's take the example of a delivery store. What is the key activity? To cook, if it is, let's say, hamburger meals provider. I have to cook. I have to have bicycles as well. So to satisfy those activities, I have to have the right resources. I have to have the bicycle, but I have to have the driver. I have to have the kitchen, but I have to have the cook. From those activities, who are core business activities, let's say for this store we are talking about, cooking is the core business, not delivery. What does it mean? I am obliged to have the cook in-house, but I can have the bicycle drivers outsourced. So you see how simple it is. We define our key activities. We recruit complementary profiles, because if the best example I can give you for what are the complementary profiles is a football team. Be sure that if Barcelona had 11 football players like Lionel Messi, Barcelona would play at the second league. No way to win. We have to have a goalkeeper, we have to have defense, middle fielders, and we have to have offensive players. So these are the complementary profiles. And as we go in details, we say, I'm a defense player, but left or right? It's quite complicated to define the right profiles. So to define the profiles, I have to know what activities do they have to support. And if it is my core business, it is my key resource, I have it in-house. If not, I can find partnerships. For instance, my accountant, my lawyer, there are key activities that I have to perform, but it's not my core business. They are supporting me for non-core business activities. So that is why I can work with an accountant and a lawyer as partners. Why we have to, very simply, I just passed the business model canvas, and why this team with the activities and the resources and the partners, because the team is in-house employees and partners. We don't make any discrimination. My lawyer and my accountant is as important as my employees. Why do we have to do that? Because the evolution of marketing, if you are aware, before up to 50s, 60s, we had the product approach. The need was so incredibly high that nobody was questioning what kind of a product it is. So they were asking, what do you have to sell? After 60s, 70s, we went to the market approach. What are the needs in the market? And currently, we are living the customer approach. The customer is the king. Why? Because the customer has a lot of alternatives. By coronavirus, the daily trade decreased, sometimes collapsed. But the e-trade and e-commerce picked up by something like 1,000%. So next step, Bishop, now on, will be the fourth era of marketing. It will be the human-centric marketing. Because before we were speaking about the product-centric. Now we are in the customer-centric. Now on, we will be on the human-centric customer. Marketing. And to enforce that, I don't know if you are aware, but you have to. The big change from the famous 4 Ps of marketing to save. The 4 Ps, product, place, price, promotion, lasted up to 30, 20 years ago. And what is important, you will never see in those Ps customers, people, employees, whatever. And that is why we shifted to save. So instead of a product, I have to provide a solution. Instead of a place, I have to have access. We are not at the same place today, but we have access. The same will take place with your clients and your employees. Price. What was the criteria before? Price. What is today? Value, not the price. Because something is important for me or less important. If it is important, I'm ready to pay money. If not, I'm not ready to pay any money. And we said promotion, which was a lot of advertising and events and blah, blah, blah. Now we need education and engagement. Our people, our clients have to be fully aware and informed. And the only way to keep those clients for a long time is to be engaged. Engaged, please remember, like commitment, mutual engagement. If I'm not engaged to my people and my customers and my partners, they will never be engaged with me. So a very simple example, you see in the IT sector, some people are engaged with Apple, Some people are engaged with Microsoft. Some people are engaged with Android or whatever. So it's a mutual engagement. And just this is one of the takeaways why I have to insist on a team, because alone I go fast. With a team, I go far. All alone, I'm very independent. I'm very relaxed. With other people, I have always to resolve issues. It's like a zodiac tender and a tanker. The zodiac, the tender, are very flexible. They go everywhere. But if they crash on something strong on the sea, that's the end. The tanker has no need. What it cannot turn easily, but whatever the roadblock, the sea block will be, the tanker will go on. So how, so far we dedicated enough time to speak about our working team, and I think it's clear for you that working team is a part of employees, key employees for core business and key partners for non-core business. But this working team has to be an effective team. At the very beginning, we spoke about vision and purpose. By this vision and purpose, each one of us set our personal goals to the left, as you see, the left circle. But the other people in the team, they have their own personal goals. So we have to have team goals. Above the team, there is a company, the top management, and they have their own goals. So what is the secret? To transform the working team to an effective team, we have to work in the middle, in the section, to be sure that our personal goals are partly the team goals, partly the company goals, and vice versa. In a different way, we have the famous silo management. Each department, each employee on its own, on his own. So we said the key word goals and objectives, because we spoke about responsibilities. Are we sure that each one of our employees has clear objectives? And the SMART objectives, I don't know if you are familiar or not, I will present, and then you have all the opportunity to go through internet and have all details. First of all, we speak about objectives and goals. What is the difference between them? Let's use the example of the football team again. My objective is to win the championship, to be the champion. So it's in a long run, a long term. It will take 1 year. My goal is to win each and every match, every Sunday. So the objective is on a long term, the goal is in a short term. Like a staircase, the objective is to go to the end, but each stair is a goal. I have to have a lot of goals to achieve my objective. And this is the famous SMART objectives theory and technique. To give an objective to someone, even to myself, this objective has to be simple, very simple. If it is complicated, nobody will follow. It has to be measurable. Why? Because if we don't measure, we cannot manage. We cannot manage. That is why we need a budget. That is why we need a balance sheet. That is why we need an inventory. Because whatever we cannot manage, we cannot measure, we cannot manage. And measurable, for instance, I set an objective to one of my key employees. You have to improve your English. It's not a simple objective. You have to improve your business English in 6 months' time using private lessons. That's simple and that's measurable. Achievable. If I say to somebody that you have to go from Athens to Salonika, but not to go today, you have to go half a day back forward. It's impossible. Something that the person cannot achieve. Realistic. If I'm asking an employee that works for me just for 3 months, the same objective with an employee that works for me for 3 years, I'm not realistic. And those people will very soon quit the objective. And the time frame, which is the most important thing, I set a goal, I set an objective. When? If I don't define when, I can. It's like being in the school. I have to deliver my thesis up to September 2020. So that's a deadline. Objective has to have a deadline. But to be realistic and to have an achievable objective set, we have again to think the three circles. We have the ideal objective. We will be the champions. We have the realistic one, the possible one, and the desirable is that we will be between the three leading teams. And we start by the feasible, which is let's stay at the Premium League. It has to be somewhere in the middle. Challenging that we start, for instance, our objective for next year is to remain at the first league, preferably within the three winning teams, most preferably to win the championship. And as you remember the 4R approach, I have to monitor. I set the objectives, I set the goals. I have to monitor. What I have to monitor, why, what, when, who. Why are we improving or why we are in a delay? What is not delivered? What is not improving? When did it happen? Who made this the right way? Who made this the wrong way? And of course, to focus the goals and objectives I'm delivering, my team and myself, I have to have success indicators. I have to define key parameters because it's meaningless to set objectives about everything. If you analyze your turnover, you will see that 70-80% of your turnover is coming from key products, key actions, key parameters. So I have to focus my objectives on that, 80%, not the less 20%. It's timeless. I have to see who are are the key influencers for those parameters. I have to find the key allies to face the parameters and the influencers, and I have to define the key opponents, who is against my objectives. Because if I don't know the opponents, I will never have a strategy how to face them. Not all the people will agree with my opinions, my objectives, my strategy. The influencers, I take care. Allies are my allies. Opponents are not my enemies, but I have to treat them very, very properly, and that is why I have to know them. As I said, the objectives and the key parameters, I have to have the famous KPIs, key performance indicator. When I set an objective to my team and say, for instance, we have to increase our sales. It says we have to increase our sales by 3% this year. I have to set another parameter, key performance indicator. I have to reduce my cost. Generally, no. I have to decrease my cost by 3% in the production, 2% in the delivery, 3% on the sales. So these are the key performance indicators, and I have to follow them. That's the monitoring we said before, reporting. And okay, I was the boss so far. I was delivering responsibilities, goals, and objectives. But am I sure that my people have all the resources and the tools to deliver what I oblige them to do? So the key element for that is training. I cannot set goals and objectives to my people, to my team, before I train them. In a different way, I'm asking, as you recall, the SMART objectives, I'm asking non-achievable objectives and goals. And I will be very surprised by the reactions of my people. And why we have to do that? Why we have to train our people and train ourselves as well? Because on a daily basis, business, what is business? It's not a secret. We lead people. We communicate with people. We negotiate with people. Are we doing that properly? We don't have to be the experts, but we have to know the basics, and we have to improve our capacity on behaving that way, on those competencies. And I think that's the right time to explain to you, because we listen all day now in the society, skills and competencies. Everybody is looking for skills and competencies. What is the difference between the skills and competencies? Skills are my characteristics, what I have by nature. Competencies will be my, as long as I give training to myself and to those specific skills. For instance, I have a very nice voice, but I'm not a singer. I like much football, and I spend a lot of hours daily playing with the ball. Yes, but I'm not a football player. I have to be trained. So let's say we can, as a joke, that skills are my supplies by nature. Competencies are my tools and weapons. That is why training is absolutely necessary for my team and for myself. Because if I will not train my people, they will stay, they will remain with the skills. I was interested was when I was recruiting them. At the end of the day, I will need the competencies. So I have to stand by my people and to train them. And training drives to knowledge. And unfortunately for us, or fortunately, we say at Kemel, we are not getting to forget because we are getting old. We are getting old because we stop to learn new things. And training and knowledge in our era will go forever. Before we had just the science. I had my graduation, that was enough. Then it was the professional knowledge. And I graduated as an architect, so whatever I learn in the School of Architecture, I have to comply with what I learned throughout my profession. Is that enough today? No. We have to insist on the third circle, the lifelong learning. And today that we are performing a webinar. I'm not perfect in the IT. Thanks Anastasia and Maria for the assistance, May, sorry, for the assistance and the help. But I have to learn. I'm 67 and I keep on learning every day. So lifelong learning will be the challenge of your life. So we define the right team, we recruit the people, we learn the organizational techniques and tools, we set the proper goals and objectives for them, we train them, and they start performing the job. What is the most important for us? Do we recognize? Do we reward our people? Because that's the mistake we are making all the time. Never to recognize the achievement, never to reward our employees. And like parents and children, remember, because that's the human nature. We were expecting from our mother or our father when we had the very nice performance at school or wherever, we were expecting a bravo, congratulations. That's the same. Our team. And so, not only to reward, celebrate with your people. Civilization is transforming any character. So join your team, visiting art and cultural events or places, museums. Care for your team. Know and invite their families. It's very important for them. They are your human capital. We have to respect them. And why it is so difficult to lead and manage people? Because it is very, very simple. We have to walk the talk. We have to manage by example. Am I ready to be the example? Am I ready to manage by example? Can you just remember what happened with politicians in a lot of countries and experts as they announcing the measures for the coronavirus, and they did not follow him. Most of them retired, they resigned the same day. So that is why it is absolutely key to manage by example. If something goes wrong, never blame your people. Step back and start blaming you, not blame. First, to ask yourself, did I walk the talk? Did I manage by example? If yes, there is a mistake with the team. If not, it is my mistake, my responsibility. And just to thank you on behalf of all the KML members, and I'm at your disposal for any question to share with you. Is there any question?
Mr. Vlachos, there are some questions in the chat, so you can check this.
Yes. Is it necessary to set the comment? So I think partly I answered the first question concerning the engagement and the loyalty of our people. This is the very last part of the presentation. If we recognize, if we manage by example, if we walk the talk, yes, our employees will be engaged and loyal. No way to behave in a different manner. It will be absolutely, just to give you an example, working with a cement company in Athens, we had the head offices a label with a maximum speed 20 kilometers. A general manager was dismissed because he passed the yard by something like 40 kilometers. Why? Because we had to manage by example. That's the loyalty and the engagement. Next question, conflicts. What kind of conflicts? First of all, conflicts between people, I assume you mean between people, between the team. Conflict is something very expected because we are different by definition. There is no copy-paste of each one of us. So there will be competitive behaviors. If it lasts for a long time, we have to intervene and to invite both, if there are two, let's say, to invite both and discuss. If one of the persons is not performing in the future, unfortunately, he has to quit the group. Nobody can be part of a team as long as the team gives opportunity to reverse my behavior and I do not respect. As we said at the very beginning, everything has to be mutual. Mutual commitment, mutual trust, mutual respect. So if I'm not respecting my employees, they will not respect me. But if somebody from the team is not respecting the team, unfortunately, I have to intervene. I will give opportunities, one opportunity, second opportunity, not the third. Other questions? We have 10 minutes to whatever you want to ask, feel free. I ran the presentation a little bit fast because I wanted to have time for questions. I know it's a very difficult issue to manage, maybe the most difficult. It's very easy to handle a machine. You have to know how to drive it or to use it and how to maintain it. And that's it. But it's very, very difficult to work with people because each one of us will be different next day. Or maybe I had a fight with my wife last night. So I will not be very, very comfortable at the work tomorrow. And the mother, the leader, the owner of the company has always to think about that. We are not machines.
There is one more question in the chat.
What are the qualities? Very, very good question. In a very second level, we are looking for papers. Quality first is character and personality. What is the character and the personality of the person? Then we were looking for skills and competencies. And then we were looking what is the academic experience and the academic knowledge supporting the skills and experiences. That's it. And why we were absolutely definite on that, remember at the beginning of the presentation, I'm not moving backwards, now it will be a little exhausting. We spoke about inspiring to our people values and purpose, to inspire principles and values and vision. So the best way to surround myself that people who will share with me vision, values, principles, and purpose is their personality, their character. Of course, their character is not the same for each company. You give me an excellent opportunity coming as a general manager in Greece on 2001. I was with the same company, but I was working in other countries. And we decided to recruit 12 engineers to renew our people, to have the young generation in the plants and everywhere. We had something like 500 CVs, resume. An agency made the screening. 150 people came to the final to start the interviews with us. We had a meeting at the amphitheater of our head offices, and the moment I said to the people that our company is not promising a permanent job to the permanent country, to the permanent city, half of them left. Because at that time, people were used that I have to work in Athens, in London, all my life. Forget about. Everything in our life now on will be mobile and remote. So the people that pressed for the interviews and tests, they passed the tests. Finally, 28 persons were absolutely amazing. And immediately I sent to my head office in Paris a letter saying that we are very lucky. We have 28 people, high quality, high profile. Do I have the green light to recruit them all? The answer was negative. And I spent all my weekend to think. I didn't sleep for 24 hours, 48 hours, sorry. How to say to 16 people that were ideal that they will not be hired. And finally, I said to them, first of all, I asked to be all present, the 28. I didn't announce who would be the people that we will hire. And I said, listen, guys, you are the seed and we are the soil not every seed is proper, appropriate for any soil. You are perfect seeds, but we are not the right soil for you. And we are going to help you to find the right soil to put in. That's it. We are looking for characters depending the company, the profile of the company, and the demands of the company. Somebody else? Feel free, whatever. We have 3 minutes to go. Okay, may then put the question is, was that heavy for you or was understandable enough? What drives your people? That's another good, very good question. Motives, motivation. As human beings, each one of us has a different motivation. I'm motivated for football. You are motivated for fishing. Somebody else is motivated for shopping. I'm motivated with knowledge. So that just you gave the answer to yourself. Why do we insist at the resume or in the interviews mainly to ask about hobbies and what are you doing in your free time? Because I have to understand your character as a whole. We cannot have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It will never be the case that an employee is X during working hours and Z during spare hours. This person will be destroyed, and we will be responsible for that because the person as a personality is the same, and we have to try to look for the motives, speaking, discussing with the people. In the multinationals, we have a process. Please keep a note for that and look through the internet. We call it annual appraisal. What is the appraisal? By the end of the year, we set the goals for the year to come. And when the year to come is closing to the end, we make a review. And we discuss with our people why, what, and to be fair, because our people are committed and loyal, the moment we are fair with them, the procedure in the multinationals is this appraisal is signed not only between the employee and his boss. It's the employee, his or her boss, and the boss of the boss, to guarantee that the treatment of the employee will be fair. So, and I think these are motivation. It's not only the money. If you promise a big bonus, some people aren't interested. I'm interested in the bonus a lot of times because I needed the bonus. But it's not only that. It's what makes me happy. The basic motivation for each one of us, what makes me happy. So try to create happy employees, happy clients. Is that all? Should I put my camera on, Anastasia or Mary?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So once more, many thanks. All the best for your life now on. And my colleagues at Kemel will be always at your disposal for any need.
Thank you, Mr. Vlachos.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And you can stop the recording now.
Of the recording is where? Bottom right?
No, it's up to the webcam.
Uh-huh. Either I'm totally foolish or I cannot see.
Okay, don't worry, I will do it for you. You can see the chat that the participant thank you for the presentation.
Okay,